Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside J-Dog.
Mike, it's good to see you. My second show with a tired dad. How you holding up over there?
Yeah, tired. It's been a lot. It's almost been 3 weeks now, so trying to get the hang of it. Things are
This should be easy. You should be coasting now. You've been doing it for 3 weeks.
I don't know how people do it. No one said. I guess I never see new parents when they're like just have a kid, because it is crazy. You think like the day is so short. You're like, what happened? Like, what do we do today? It's already time for bed.
This is rare access to a parent inside of 3 weeks since giving birth, and It sounds tough over there. Sounds challenging, but James is doing great. Excited to meet him this weekend. Happy Mother's Day to your wife. How cool! She just had a baby a few weeks before Mother's Day.
I did tell her, look, Mother's Day is way too close to the birth. We've already we didn't do much.
You took that away from her?
I didn't take it away from her. We like celebrated. We had some food. I got her some gifts, but it's just like literally a week ago she gave birth, and it's like, yeah, we know it's Mother's
She's
Day.
been mothering very hard the last 3 weeks, and Father's Day for you. Are we going to mute Father's Day in a month too? Just because
that's far enough away from the birth. That will get a big day for sure.
A big deal for that,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
you watch any late night sports in your feeding times? Any like 2 a.m. random sports, ESPN The Ocho, anything like that?
No, I've been watching random Netflix shows. Still, what else am I watching? Just like random ass shows. I watched all the Planet of the Apes because like, oh, the new movie's coming out. Let me watch all the Planet of the Apes.
Wow.
Not bad. The 3 movies, pretty solid, I would say. That's my
you
tired
recommend
dad
a binge
review.
of all 3?
Binged all 3, watched all the Godfathers, just finished Scarface, started this new series on Netflix called Evil. Probably not great to watch in the middle of the night because it's kind of scary. But yeah, just that's what my day's been. And a lot of sports. I just sit here and like if I have the baby, watching some sports on TV. So
well, it's a good season for that. We got NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. Not your Lightning; they have been eliminated. But there's other teams still playing hockey. Other teams still playing NBA. Where do you want to start today?
Let's start this. The NBA's been going on. I've been watching random things, and I saw the NBA draft lottery, which I never knew was televised. And it was televised, and I found it very awkward because I watched the whole thing. I was sitting here, I'm like, okay, I'm feeding the kid. I got a bottle in my hand. There's really nothing on, and I was watching. I think it was yesterday, or I don't know what day.
It was during the day. I thought it used to be at night. Now it's like during the day, which is weird.
It was like midday on TV. I would say this. They don't need to televise this. It could be similar to, you know how the real lotto does it, where it's just like balls spinning. It's like, here are the numbers.
Yes.
That's all they need to do. They had, you didn't watch it, so I'm sure you don't.
I didn't watch it. I was just gonna say though, when you're watching the Powerball or the lottery numbers, you see the machine with the balls. You're not seeing that machine with the NBA, right?
No,
it's all
no,
behind the scenes. So what are you actually watching?
You're watching representatives from all the teams, and they go over to every single person. It's like, representing the Rockets, we have 4-time blah blah blah. It's like random people there representing the teams, and they don't do anything. They're like interviewing them. They're like, what do you think's gonna happen today? It's like, we don't know. It's just a fucking lottery. Like, it doesn't really matter. And no one really cares about this draft. Like, I can't name anybody in this draft at all except for Bronny James.
You can name one who's not going to be drafted, who we'll talk about coming up. One famous child. Why don't they show us the ping pong balls? Because I feel like I doubt the NBA is actually being honest with us when they don't show us the entire process in front of us. At least for the lottery, we might think it's corrupt. We might think it's not correct. But at least they're showing us the balls and the machine, and it looks like it's all in real time. Whether it is, I can't validate it. Don't ask me. At least I want to see that for the NBA to act like it's like in real time and it's happening and no one knows. But when it's in an envelope, it happened backstage. Like, what are all the things that happened between when that happened and the envelope went out there? Anything could have changed.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's televised. I think they're trying to do what the NFL does and like make it a big deal. I don't think anybody really cares. Obviously, this is not the actual draft, and they're not drafting as many people.
Did you know that before you started watching? Did you think they were going to draft the players?
No. I didn't think they were going to draft. I was just like, what a weird thing to put on TV is just like the lottery. And obviously, I know it's been on TV a long time, but it felt weird, and I don't know why it's on TV. That was my whole take. I'm like, what the hell am I watching? Why are they interviewing every single person? And I found out like the Detroit Pistons got screwed over twice for being the worst team in the league. They didn't even get the top 4 lotto pick. They got
Mike,
the 5th overall.
The 5th year in a row, they've been under slot on where they're supposed to be. And so, like, the NBA, again, they're hiding all this from us. Show me the tape of 5 years of ping pong balls screwing the Pistons. Maybe the Pistons owner pissed off Adam Silver one time, and Adam Silver said, they're picking terrible every year going forward. That could happen because we're not seeing the whole process. And so you're right. If they're going to televise it, show us A to Z, everything that happens and goes into it. And just be honest. We're only asking for honesty.
Yeah, because they're just pulling out cards. Like, I thought it was actually going to be random where it's like, okay, the next ball up. And I think they do have all those balls. Like, the odds are in there. It's like, okay, he got 10 balls. He has 3. He has 4. But, yeah, and this year no one really cares. Like, the first 10 picks, it doesn't matter. Like, literally doesn't matter. I think the Lakers are going to trade away all their picks to get people on their team. And
well, they might keep one. They might keep one if they're supposed to keep LeBron happy. And there's a lot going on in Lakers land, so that's a good transition, Mike, because LeBron is possibly going to be a free agent. The Lakers don't have a head coach. We are in mid-May. Other teams who fired their coach, they're hiring coaches, and the Lakers are not. And now we're in this position where we don't know if LeBron is coming back. We don't know who their head coach is going to be. And we don't know where Bronny James is going. And like you said, Bronny James is not a good player, but he is in the draft pool, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, real quick before you talk about his metrics at whatever it's called, the Combine.
Scouting Combine.
Did you see Michael Jordan might be up for a shot at the head coaching job?
Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan. There's like
coaching LeBron? My brain just exploded. I did not know that.
I think it'd be the worst and best viewing because we know how petty Michael Jordan is and how competitive he is. And I weirdly do not see LeBron as that competitive. I see him as like, kind of take it. Maybe he'll get a little angry and try to play really hard. But when I think of Michael Jordan, I think of like a cutthroat, like, you fucking fouled me once 10 years ago in a game and I'm never going to hold that grudge against you. And I feel like him with LeBron could spark something new that I would actually want to watch. And just the chemistry on the sideline, like, 2 greats, you could say, that ever played the game together. Like, I don't know. It'd be kind of crazy.
Mike, you're a genius. I haven't seen this reported anywhere, so this is being reported on the Sports Hangover. You are a content machine in your late-night baby feedings. I love where your mind is at. I never thought about this before. This is incredible. This would make every Lakers game must-watch to have, like, a shot of MJ at all times. You know how we have, like, the Manning cast? Give me the MJ cast. With just a shot of his face as LeBron is, like, going to the hoop and missing shots and all of that. I can't imagine, like, the dynamic, like, who's going to tell the other one, like, what play to run at the end of a game? Like, who is the actual head coach, which is always the question of LeBron.
Because it's almost like, in a way, I don't think Michael Jordan can coach a team, but he's good enough to like tell LeBron, like, look, here's what we're going to do, kind of pump him up a little. Maybe LeBron's technically the coach, but the JJ Redick thing is kind of taken off as like, he actually might be the coach. But Michael Jordan thing was just hey, if an opportunity comes, I might take it.
And if J.J. Redick can do it, who has never been a head coach at any level, and all he did was shoot a lot and talk about basketball, then surely Michael Jordan can do it too. And by the way, I'm mad at the J.J. Redick thing. I don't understand it. He has no coaching experience. He literally is a three-point shooter, goes to TV, hosts a podcast with his friend named LeBron, and so LeBron goes, well, let me just hire my podcast co-host as my head coach. Mike, that's like me like winning the lottery and saying, Mike, I'm going to put you in charge as my CEO of a business that you have no business doing just because you're my podcast
Yeah, we're going to do some fintech. Yeah. No, it makes, how about this? It makes more sense than LeBron because JJ just played. So you can kind of like see like, okay, I was coached by all these coaches. I'm going to take the best away from all the things that I've learned from these coaches and try to implement them here as a test run. Because every first-time head coach, what was the guy in Brooklyn? He just like he was playing a few years ago. Steve Nash, right?
Steve Nash.
Yeah, he played. He was the Brooklyn head coach a little while ago. Like that kind of stuff. Like, all right, like you didn't do a good job, but you tried.
It didn't work. I think that's what we see is the best coaches are Popovich and these guys who know how to coach and have been there a long time. Even the T-Wolves coach who had that knee injury, he coaches from the back bench now, like the second bench. He's a real coach, and that's kind of what works. The Nuggets have a lifetime coach, Mark Malone, who's been around for like 30 years. Those are the teams that are still standing. It's none of these first-time head coaches. Even Ty Lue came out as a player to become a coach. He's had like 4 different jobs. I think he's been fired like 3 times, and now he's with the Clippers and doing well, and they extended him. It took like 4 positions just to get there. I don't like the idea of going straight from the court to being a head coach. I think really all you need right now is experience, drawing up the plays and keeping the locker room intact. And if LeBron, I would say to LeBron, and maybe this is why the Lakers are being a little bit slow on the coaching search. I would say to LeBron, who do you want to coach? And is that person a better option than you as a player coach? Should LeBron not be the player coach? If he's the one who's in charge of Ham and in charge of all these guys coming in anyway, what if you just insert a figurehead as like an assistant coach and say LeBron is, again, must-watch TV, the head coach and the head scorer, and just let him do it all because he might do it all anyway?
I just don't know how that would work. But I do like, the more you talk about it, I'm like, okay, you sold me on Jordan. Like, pull Jordan in there. It'd be the greatest thing I've ever watched. Like, you'd want to see the fights. Jordan would for sure get in fights with people.
Because, like who's in charge? Like, one of them has to be on any play, any game-winning moment, but, like, you don't know going in who it's going to be. That's crazy.
Coach.
Let me ask you this. What incentive does Michael Jordan have to coach the Lakers and, like, subject himself to criticism, to press conferences, to all the media? Like, there's some BS, all the travel.
I think the drive. I think he's got that winning in him, and maybe he wants to go see if, like, hey, can I coach and win a title or do something? I mean, didn't he just sell the Hornets? Didn't he sell a piece of that?
He's
or
out
all
of the
of
Hornets, so he's like available. Yeah,
he's got a lot of money. He doesn't need to do this.
Well,
but
does he though? And as I asked you the question of why would he do this, we know his gambling debts are adding up. We know he likes to gamble lots of money on the golf course and on sports. What if he is a little low on money and maybe the Lakers give him like a big contract to come in and coach LeBron? It's like the one and done. LeBron's last season and Michael Jordan comes in. I never heard this. I swear I never heard this before.
You never saw this.
I am running with this. I love it.
I just don't think they would be able to pay him enough where it actually matters to him. So it'd almost be like, hey, Mike, you want to come coach for a year? We'll give you 10 mil, like no big deal. Like that's what you make in like a week from Nike from all your shoe sales. Like it doesn't really matter to him. It'd be like I want to do this for fun.
Right, Mike. We're working this out in real time. But what if Genie gives him a percentage of the Lakers ownership? He just owned the Hornets for a while. Maybe he becomes a part owner of the Lakers with Magic and LeBron and MJ. It's like greatness everywhere.
I don't know where I saw this interview, but I saw a Jeannie Buss interview, and she was kind of mad that whoever was holding the equity, some of the equity, they sold it off to somebody else, and she didn't want that to happen because I think at some point they
wasn't
sold
her
off
equity, right? It was someone else's.
Well, it was somebody else's equity, but she's like talking about how it's like a family and we're doing all this. But I don't know how much Jeannie Buss owns. I actually kind of wanted to look it up. Own percentage of like the Lakers because
so maybe she's the majority owner, and there's others that have pieces of it.
Yeah. So he had 66% controlling ownership of the Lakers. Went to his six children via trust. So I don't know how much. So I have no idea. So each of them got like 11.
Her dad was like the real owner. Then
yeah. He was the real owner, but I just didn't know because she's going to be there forever. But I just wonder how much power she truly has. But who knows?
Well, hopefully MJ coaches the Lakers. That's breaking news and very exciting. We're running with that. TSH is reporting Michael Jordan is in the running for the Lakers job. We're here in LA. We're going to check this out. We're going to ask our sources and try to get to the bottom of this. I want to transition to Bronny James, who you mentioned the ping pong ball contest. The draft is coming. The scouting combine happened. Yeah. And unlike the NFL combine where people actually watch it, no one's watching the NBA combine. We don't know what's going on.
No.
And we don't really care because we don't know who's in it. But we do know one player, and he's been a liar his entire life, it turns out. Bronny James is actually a liar. Not even like a liar. You know how a lot of men will lie about their height? Maybe not you and me, Mike. You're very tall. I'm at least average, maybe above average height.
Yeah.
We have short friends. We have short listeners that maybe want to add an inch or two or sometimes 3 to their height. I'm thinking of some in particular even, but I'm not going to name them. It's not like that kind of thing. But Mike,
you should name one. Yeah.
Well, he knows who he is. Let's be honest. It's too funny. But the idea that you add 3 inches to your height is not normal. Maybe 1 inch. It turns out on every roster Bronny James has ever been on in internet history, very findable on the internet, he's been 6'4" every single time. He shows up to the NBA scouting combine, and he is a half inch over 6'1". He is 6'1 and a half. 2.5 inches. Mike, I don't need to tell you, 2.5 inches can make a big deal in lot of ways. That's a big deal. 2.5 inches, all right? That's what we're adding and subtracting here. And that's what Bronny James subtracted in real life from his height. He's been telling everyone he's 6'4". He's not. He's 6'1". And I have his stat for you. I went deep on this.
Give it to me.
6'1 players who averaged 5 points a game in college have never been drafted in the first round.
Whoa.
Never
Okay.
has someone who is 6'1" and averaged 5 points a game in college been drafted in the first round. So if he is a first-round pick, and I've been telling you this for months, if he is a first-round pick, the only reason is because of his first name and his last name. That is it, and that is corrupt. That is not how NBA franchises get better. That is not how the Lakers will get better. And if they use any draft capital, any assets on this 6'1" college player who averaged less than 5 points a game, less points per game than Marcus Jordan, who never played in the NBA, who also had his father's genetics, we're just doing something crazy here in the NBA.
All right, so my first few thoughts were, okay, how his shoes must be like super thick. I did see his wingspan is like a wingspan of like an 8-footer or something like that. Like his wingspan's huge.
His long arms, does that help you shoot?
His really long arms. His vertical, I think, is 8 feet. Whatever it is, he can
well, he's
jump
a good
pretty
defender.
high.
So now I'm glad you broke that down. So he's a good defender because he has long arms, not because he's athletic or anything else.
Well, he is also athletic as well. But I like the idea that the Lakers are gonna waste a draft pick just to make LeBron happy. Like, this next season of the Lakers is all about making LeBron happy. Extend it. We need you here. Michael Jordan's coming in. Bronny's coming in. It's just going to be, let's bring back the Showtime Lakers. Let's have it fun. I don't know if you ever watch that show, Showtime Lakers on HBO.
It's on my list. I want to watch it. After the NBA Finals, I'm going to watch it.
I loved it. Some people hated it, but I was like, this is great. Like, this is fun. I'm learning a little bit about like the Lakers history, how they started, things, how they're going. It was fun. And I thought like, that time period when people were actually like interested in the Lakers, I thought that was great. And I want that back. I want to go to a game and be like, I need to go see this.
This sounds like the new era of Showtime Lakers. If you have LeBron, Bronny, and MJ, that'd be great.
Love it.
I think it might be more likely we have MJ coaching than Bronny on the NBA team, the way this is going, because he shows up to this combine. He's terrible. It fits with everything I've been telling you exclusively on this show for many months, how Bronny James should not play in the NBA. And if he does, it's nepotism at its finest.
Of course. Yeah. I love it. Well, hopefully it happens.
More NBA before we move on. Also, speaking of Michael Jordan, you broke this story to me last week, and
Yeah.
I've been reading more about it. Anthony Edwards does look so much like Michael Jordan, and apparently I have Michael Jordan blocked on my feeds because I never knew this story before last week. So you're breaking MJ news every week at this point. Yes, Anthony Edwards looks like Michael Jordan. He flies through the air like him too. I've been studying this series. It's the best series going on right now. Timberwolves and Nuggets. That man flies like Jordan. He slams it with authority like Jordan. Like LeBron never did. LeBron is amazing at so many things. Never quite soared through the air like I'm seeing Edwards do.
Have you seen the promo videos where it's like Edwards going for a shot and then it's like MJ doing a shot? It's identical the same way they do it, the step back and the
I
jump.
see it all now. And he is MJ. Now, he might not be MJ because he just lost 2 games after they were up 2-0. MJ didn't lose much. MJ had that killer instinct. Anthony Edwards is only 22. He's not responsible for his whole team, only himself. So I think they still win this series. I've been loving it. It's him against Jokic, back and forth.
It's great.
Every road team has won in that series. It's really the best one going right now. And I love watching Anthony Edwards. I had him ranked way too low, Mike, on my Western Conference
way too
most
low.
exciting players. He was number 8 on that list.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I was wrong about that.
Oh, by the way, I re-listened to that episode. I thought you were mentioning Cat. What's his name? Carl Anthony or whatever.
Carl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, he's the guy that was mentioned. There was I got confused between the two, but it was about his voice. I think Carl Anthony. I think he lowers his voice and higher, whatever it is. But
I'm
yeah,
glad you're going back to listen and dissect the tape while you're.
I got a lot of time. I'm just.
Yeah.
I want to see what's going on. Did you research any more about Anthony Edwards being the son of Michael Jordan?
I started down that rabbit hole. Nothing reportable really yet. I can't find any DNA tests. I can't find any where was Michael Jordan 22 years ago? Who's the baby mama? I'm looking down those threads, but definitely wide open on the Michael Jordan searches on social these days after you broke news.
I think if you go look during something around that time, Michael Jordan was in the area where Anthony Edwards
Oh my God.
might have been born 9 months later.
love it.
Like, I swear to God, it's something like it connects him perfectly, like some sort of event, right? He's like, so what would it be? Like 2002, somewhere around there, Michael Jordan? I'm going to deep dive. I got a lot of time on my hands.
I was
with
just
my
thinking,
phone.
we did a great job cracking the Kate Middleton thing. I think me and you were part of the reason the Palace came out and told us what was actually happening, which we appreciate. Thank you. Now you can go back in hiding. But let's just devote all of our resources to this going forward and break down the situation and really come out in a few months with an answer on what's going on here.
I'll put something together for you for next week. I'll do that, and we'll see what happens. By the way, we need to do a Kate Middleton update at some point this summer because she's still gone. We know what's happened, but she's still disappeared.
People are still very worried about her, and
Yeah.
fans of the Royals are worried.
I do have one other thing I want to talk about. The NFL schedule. So the NFL schedule was supposed to come out last week. It did not come out. And now the TV upfronts are coming this week. I don't know what day, maybe
They
Wednesday or
started
Thursday.
today.
Today.
Today, they're all week, yeah.
And that's where we're going to get maybe somebody to announce what's going to happen. And they think Netflix might be securing the Christmas Day. I don't know if it's 3 games or something like that, but they might be securing the Christmas Day viewing for the NFL, which would be huge.
Mike, this is another one that we've been all over from the jump. It's like once we saw NFL on Christmas Day, we knew, even though Christmas Day is a Wednesday this year, we knew that it would continue. And sure enough, there's going to be 2 games on Christmas Day. The surprise might be Netflix because they keep telling us in every earnings call, we're not getting into live sports. That's not what we do. We do storytelling, yet here they are on the cusp. It's not official yet, but on the cusp. All reports are that they'll get the 2 Christmas games. Who would produce them? Maybe the NFL produces them. That's not the same quality you might expect on Netflix. So, is it an NFL Network broadcast on Netflix? Does that do much for you? I don't know. It's a big deal for Netflix. It's big because it just spreads the NFL and really all sports. You know, I know, as a sports fan, you have to have so many things, and I know that's getting aggravating for certain sports fans, but it makes it more convenient in some ways too.
So I also pulled up all the other streaming events for the NFL. So this year we got Peacock. We got week 1. They got the Packers and Eagles week 1. So that's exclusively on Peacock. Then we have ESPN Plus for 1 international game, which is annoying because I don't really know.
We don't know that yet, but I think it'll be announced that they're up front this week.
Yeah, and then Amazon obviously is Thursday, but they also get 1 wild card game as well. So it's a lot of streaming. Netflix would be, I think, the biggest surprise, but I think the other players like an Apple or an Amazon, I think those make sense. I don't think Warner Discovery is going to be in the mix because they're trying for the NBA.
Trying to keep NBA. It's not looking good.
They got no money.
But
they can't do anything. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I like that it's all going to streaming. And I think I predicted at the beginning of the year as Sportstradamus here on the show as well, but the streaming was going to get more expensive, and it's getting more expensive. They're trying to consolidate stuff now, like the Discovery and Disney and all this stuff. They're all like making a bundle. Basically, we're making cable again, and everybody's going to have a channel of streaming. Yeah. And it's kind of weird at this point. Like, I understand what they're all trying to do, but I think the NFL shouldn't fragment too much because it gets harder to watch all the games. When it's on TV, it's easy. But if you're going to start going to all these other applications, it gets a little harder. So I feel like they got to stick and choose to a few that are going to pay them the most instead of have 5 streamers.
The real life component of it is it's hard to channel change when you're inside of someone's app. You have to have several buttons, get out of it. We know it's not as instant as changing a channel or hitting last.
It's not like YouTube
on
TV.
Our cable or YouTube TV. And we're not asking for cable or YouTube TV. We're asking for ease of use. Make it easier. Maybe all these Rokus and Apple TVs need to make it easier to jump from service to service. Maybe that's one of the next things.
Picture in picture would be nice.
Picture in picture, which we talked about, was on early TVs of our childhood and somehow reinvented as multi-view, and we love it, but it's really the same idea. But that's okay. It keeps getting better. It is too many places, but I think it's going to continue. The NFL, Mike, they seem to need money. They keep canceling NFL Network programming. Their morning shows moving to LA to cut costs and get rid of their studio. They cut their evening show. NFL Total Access is on 7 nights a week. That was canceled. It's gone. They hired some more hosts. So we don't know what NFL is doing. And it seems like they need money, which is so crazy. Like they have these money grabs all over the place. And the Christmas games from Netflix are going to be another huge moneymaker for them.
Do you ever think these network shows like the NFL and the NBA, whatever they have going on, it doesn't make sense for them because they want money. You can't. It's almost like the WWE did it years ago where they're like, hey, come watch all our stuff on WWE app or get it on your device. That's not where we want it. We want it on the devices we're watching, the Netflix, the Peacocks, the Hulus, whatever it is. And it's harder when it's I don't know, like the NFL Network, NBA Network, NHL, all that doesn't need to be there. You could just be a website for information and telling us where to watch all the games, because that's the hardest part now. I just have an app that tell me where all the games are because I have no idea half the time. Like, where's the NBA game, or where's this, where's that? It's hard to find.
And it's usually a worse experience on the league infrastructure than on the streaming infrastructure, because leagues don't do that day to day. It's like on the side they have a website or an app where Netflix and Peacock, they're doing it all day every day, and they're really good at it. So I think that's a component to it. A few games, Mike, have been announced as Upfronts got started today. First, NBC announced Ravens and Chiefs for the Thursday night opener in week 1.
I saw that.
That's the first game. So we're getting Lamar and Mahomes. That is going to suck for Lamar. That's the banner raising, likely their first game for the Chiefs. Super Bowl goes up. The banner goes up. Crowd goes crazy, and then Lamar's got to go out there and try to beat Mahomes. They might not. I think the Lions beat the Chiefs last year in week 1. It's going to be tough to beat them, but maybe Lamar can do it early.
Did you see Jared Goff got a $200 and something million extension?
He got a lot of money, and that's not something. I didn't think it would start with a 2. I thought it would start with a 1.
Started with a 2. It's a lot of money. And it's kind of crazy because he was
the Lakers are going to have to pay MJ Jared Goff money.
Yeah, they're going to have to pay if he wants to be there. But yeah, it's weird. The NFL is we're off season right now, but things are happening. I'm kind of excited to see. So I saw here it's May 15th that they're going to release this actual schedule. So I'm kind of curious to see where those games end up, because that'd be nice on Netflix. Netflix is pretty high quality too, because when you're on YouTube TV, you have to pay for that extra 4K tier.
Yes.
But other streamers don't have to do that. You just get it in high quality, which is nice.
Well, we'll see if Netflix makes you pay a little more for NFL in 4K. That they haven't said anything like that, so we'll see.
I think it's
by
more
the way, the Fox Upfront is going on as we talk, and Michael Strahan and Tom Brady announced Tom Brady's first assignment for Sunday of Week 1.
What is it?
It's Dallas Cowboys at home against the Cleveland Browns. So it's Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott. The Browns aren't sexy, but Brady does get the Cowboys in week 1. We're going to be tuning in for Brady alone, let alone the matchup. And the Cowboys do come with drama. So I think it's a good one.
I just don't know if he's going to be very good on TV. I think we're going to have another Jason Witten or somebody on our hands.
No.
Or maybe the Clapper.
He's too famous and too rich to be bad, I think.
But even you thought Drew Brees was going to last. He was gone. All these guys came and went, and they try him out for a year, and then they boot him to the street. I don't think they can kick Brady out that much. But I felt like Brady should have been on the booth, with the guys, on the Fox Morning, whatever they're doing with Terry
the studio
and Howie.
show.
Yeah.
It's a little easier, you think, right?
I think it's just a little bit
Gronk
more.
can do it.
It's a little more fun. It's laid back. Yeah, you could just hang out and be like, hey.
What was it? Belichick said, Gronk, I watch you on Fox on that morning show. Stop doing your job. That roast was so good. I have to go back and watch more, but it was great. I think Brady will actually be okay. He's been trying really hard. The one out that he can have, Mike, and he kind of did this a few weeks ago, I thought, is he still said, I'm interested if any team needs me. I don't know if it was the Bucks or someone else he was talking about. Not the Patriots, I assume, not Robert Kraft. But he's putting the feelers out there to keep playing. So if he sucks, and if he knows he sucks, or we think he sucks, look out for week 4 or 5. Oh, the Raiders have Gardner Minshew. He's struggling. Let's insert Brady in there and get him out of his Fox deal, only to let him save face. Because going to coach high school football like Jason Witten did is not going to let him save face.
Yeah, but Jason Witten, maybe that's just what he's good at. He thrives at it. We'll see what Brady does. Brady doesn't need to do any of this, so I don't know why he's forcing himself to do it. But I think he just likes to be in the public crowd and the faces of everybody.
I agree. I'll say this about the NFL schedule release.
Yeah.
All the matchups are known. I don't really get everyone's interest in the actual schedule. It's nice to know week 1 and who you play week 2. Do you care when the Dolphins' bye is, if it's week 8 or week 12? I don't really care.
Well,
there's certain aspects that I don't really know.
Isn't it more we during the offseason, we're what game can we all go to? And we never ended up going to a game here.
True.
We got Chargers and the Rams, and we never went to any of the games.
We are targeting Las Vegas too, maybe a Raiders game.
Little Raiders game. But yeah, I think that's more what it's fun. It's okay, am I flying? Because there's some people that are crazy and go every Sunday and follow their team all around the country.
Which we recommend not doing that, actually. It's a much better experience at home. Maybe go once and put your eyes on them and call it a season. Watch the rest on your couch with Red Zone and all your toys.
Yeah, I just want to see what's going on. Because, I do want to do Vegas. Vegas would be awesome. Just see that stadium. Vegas fans are wild. If you've ever been to a Knights game out there, they're into it. It's some of the best live hockey you can go. It's great.
It's professional sports on the Strip. How can it not be awesome,
I know.
Right?
That's so good.
We're gonna have MLB soon. We're gonna have NBA there soon. It's gonna be great. My last thing before we go, Mike. There's another golf major this week. I know you're consuming a lot of information late nights. You didn't really know that, did you? PGA Championship is this week. I want to give you 3 names to bet on.
Okay.
They are favorites. They are not surprises. I just want to mention these 3 players have all won their last start coming into this event, and that's crazy. Their last event, they're playing on 3 different events. They all won their last one heading into the PGA. The first one is Scotty Scheffler. He won a few weeks ago at the Masters. Then he had a baby. He's all set. He's ready to go. Scotty Scheffler is back with the baby. You know that dad's strength, or will he be tired? You could go either way on that.
It depends. If that man's has a lot more money than I do, so I'm sure he has some extra help around the house. It's nice to have some help, I'm sure.
Similar paychecks for you too.
Yeah,
Another one, Rory McIlroy. He won in North Carolina over the weekend. No surprise there. He won at this course 10 years ago. I was there for that major. It's back in Louisville, and he won there. By the way, our mutual friend moved to Louisville once. Terrible decision.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I almost forget sometimes. It's almost like blanked out of my head that he lived there for
I think he almost forgets. Just had to mention that in case he listens. Our last one, Brooks Koepka. He won the Live Golf event last week, and he is in top form heading into the PGA. So I love how these are 3 superstars. They all won recently. They're all hot, and they could all win this major.
I will bet it. I gotta watch something this weekend, so I'm gonna bet that. Maybe a little parlay with some hockey and stuff like that would be great.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got. I'm gonna go take over the shift for the baby right now, and then we'll do it this week. You're coming this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna meet him.
Yeah, you're gonna meet him. Maybe we'll take some pictures. Maybe we'll hide the baby's face. You like hide the face of the baby.
Yes.
Yeah,
we won't dox him yet. 18.
Yeah.
Wait till he's 18, right?
Yeah. Check out thesportshangover.com. We got swag up there. The shows. Subscribe to us on YouTube. That's where we're at. Comment. We love the comments. A lot of weird comments lately.
I've been seeing this on TikTok. There is a lot of comments. There's someone actually defending us, which I appreciate. It looks like someone, like an old Steelers fan, a fan of Heinz Ward, it looks like, who keeps responding to the comments. We appreciate that. And we appreciate all the comments. Like, feel free to criticize us.
It's fine.
We love watching it. It's like we're at our own roast every time we open our TikTok. Yeah.
It's great. It's just like, I appreciate you taking the time to roast us at the end of the video. You watch the whole video, and like the one roast was like, oh, that fucking rosy cheek guy doesn't know shit about hockey. It's like, it's great. It's good.
Made you laugh, right? You enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great. It's like, I appreciate you took that time. That's really nice. Yeah. So keep commenting. We're on YouTube, TikTok, even Instagram over there if you want to follow us, all the Sports Hangover. Good show. See you.